Hello students, hope you all are fine. In last video, we have seen the basis of classification and different terminology such as cellular level, tissue, organ system, what do you mean by radial symmetry, bilateral symmetry, then what are coelomates animals, pseudocoelomates, co-coelomates, okay. So all this terminology will be useful. You have to revise it to study the different phylum. Now today we'll study the broad animal classification. So kingdom Animalia, they all are multicellular organism. Then based on level of organization, they are divided into cellular level, which shows only one phylum, that is the Porifera, and tissue or organ system are further classified based on the symmetry, that is radial symmetry or bilateral symmetry. Then based on the radial symmetry, we have two phylum, that is Coelenterata, also called as Cnidaria, and Ctenophora. Okay. Then bilateral symmetry, again further classified based on the body cavity or coelom present in the mesoderm. So they are further classified into acoelomate, pseudocoelomate and coelomates animal. So acoelomates without body cavity, example of phylum is Platyhelminthes. Then with false coelom, that is called as the pseudocoelomate. Example is phylum Aschelminthes. So only one phylum is here. And with true coelom or coelomates, they are called the phylums belonging to these coelomates are Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Chinodermata, Hemichordata and Chordata. So today we'll study these phylums. Now first phylum Porifera, commonly known as sponges, marine and asymmetrical animals. So you can see they are asymmetrical, cannot divide into equal parts passing through the center. These are the primitive multicellular animals and have cellular level of organization. They are the primitive first one, and they show cellular level of organization. Sponges have a water transport or canal system. Water enters through the minute pores called as the ostia. Now singular is called as the ostium. Now you can see on this cycon there are small minute pores called as the ostia. Plural is ostia, singular is ostium. So you can see here, through this water enters through this ostium inside the body into a central cavity. This is the central cavity called as the spongicoil. Central cavity spongicoil म्हणता, from where it goes out through the osculum, and the water is removed out through this region called as the osculum. This region is called as the osculum. So water enters inside this ostium, moves into the spongicoil, that is the cavity, and again excreted out or removes out from the region called as the osculum. This pathway of water transport is helpful in food gathering, respiratory exchange and removal of waste. Since it doesn't have organ system, all these the different activities are done with the help of this water transport system. Coinocyte or the collar cells line the spongicoil and the canals. Okay, now this is called as the collar cells or the coinocytes. This collar cell or the coinocyte. Okay. Digestion is intracellular. The digestion takes place inside the cells only, so that is called the intracellular. The body is supported by a skeleton made of spicules or spongin fiber. They are also called as the spongin fiber or the spicule. You can see they are the fibers, spicule, or they are called as the spongin fibers. They are hermaphrodite. Examples, that is eggs and sperms are produced by the same individual. Okay, so they are hermaphrodite, that is both male and female gametes are present on the same individual. Sponges reproduce asexually by fragmentation. and sexually by formation of gametes. Fertilization in internal and development is indirect, having larval stages which is morphologically distinct from the adult. Now fertilization in indirect means they will have larval stage and then larval stage will develop slowly into adult. So directly individuals are not formed into a adult. So they have two different stages, larval stage and the adult stage. So that's why it is called as the indirect development. Now these are the some examples of the phylum Porifera. Now this is the cycon, commonly found Spongilla, which is found in freshwater sponge. We call it as a freshwater sponge. And this is Euspongia, that is also called as the bath sponge. Now second phylum is the Coelenterata, or first it was called as the Cnidaria. Now they are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or free swimming, radially symmetrical animals. So radially symmetrical order passing through the center we can record in the any plane. The name Cnidaria is derived from the cnidoblast or cnidocytes, which contain the stinging capsule or nematocytes present on the tentacles of the tentacles and the body. So cnidoblasts and cnidocytes are the stinging capsule, means when they touch any body surface or other organism, it will cause irritation or the swellings in those organisms. So they are, that's why we say it is a harmful, means they causes irritation on the skin or allergies. Cnidoblasts are used for anchorage or defense and for the capture of prey. So they use these cnidoblasts to capture the prey, means for that to capture their food and for anchorage purpose and as a defense to protect themselves from the other organism. They exhibit tissue level of organization and are diploblastic. They have central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening mouth on hypostome. Okay, single opening mouth on the hypostome region. This is the hypostome. They have opening here. Digestion is extracellular and intracellular, both extracellular outside the cell and intracellular within the cell. The cnidarians, example corals, have a skeleton composed of calcium carbonate. Now these are the corals which have their skeleton deposition of calcium carbonates. That's why when they are out of the water, it becomes very hard coral. Now cnidarians exhibit two basic body forms called polyps and medusa. Okay, polyps and medusa. The polyp is a sessile and cylindrical form like hydra and Adamsia. Okay, this is the example of Adamsia sea anemone and the hydra. So polyp is a sessile and cylindrical form. So you can see here, this is the cylindrical form and the sessile free. The medusa is the umbrella shape and free swimming like Aurelia or jellyfish, and medusa is a free living like jellyfish. Okay, like this. So they have cnidarian show two different basic body forms, that is polyps and medusa. Polyp is sessile and cylindrical form, whereas medusa is umbrella shape and free swimming like Aurelia or jellyfish. Those cnidarian which exhibits in both forms exhibit alternation of generation, that is called as the metagenesis. Alternation of generation in cnidarian is called as the metagenesis. So they exhibit in both forms, polyps and medusa. So polyps produce medusae asexually and medusae forms the polyps sexually. Example is Obelia. Now these are the some of the coelenterate example. Personally, Physalia, it is also called as the Portuguese man of war. It is a poisonous because of the stinging tentacles, coiled stinging tentacle. Then this is the sea anemone Adamsia. Then Gorgonia, sea fan-like. You can see the fan shape. Then pennatula, sea pen, we say it is like a pen. And this is Mindrina, the brain column. Now this is the Obelia species wherein it shows alternation of generation, okay, life cycle. Now you can see here feeding polyp medusa bird showing the medusa structure, and this is the polyp, okay, developing polyp. You can see the polyp and on top of that medusa, okay. So feeding polyp, this is the reproductive polyp, medusa bird. This is the portion of colony of polyps, okay. Now this is the asexual reproducing budding developing. Now we'll see. So medusa undergo meiosis and produces egg and sperms, okay, that is called sexual. So this after fertilization will produce zygote, then zygote will form a larva will develop into a polyp, and then for during sexual reproduction will produce the medusa bird, okay. Now this is the haploid, egg and sperm, whereas other stages are the diploid. So only you have to remember here is the Obelia species show two types of structure, that is medusa, that is the umbrella shaped structure like a jellyfish, and the another one is the polyp, okay, cylindrical structure called as the polyp. Now third phylum is the phylum Ctenophora. Ctenophores, commonly known as the sea walnuts or comb jellies, they are exclusively marine. They are only found in marine environment. Radially symmetrical diploblastic organism with tissue level of organization. The body bears 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates which helps in locomotion. So you can calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So radial external rows of ciliated comb plates which helps in locomotion. These plates help them in locomotion in the water. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Now these particular ctenophores, they have another very important characteristic feature called as the bioluminescence. That is the property of living organism to emit light. So they emit light. So during night time you will see the beautiful ctenophores emitting light, and is present in ctenophores. Now sexes are not separate. Reproduction takes place only by sexual means. Fertilization is external with indirect development. Again, indirect means they have two stages, larval state and the adult stage. Okay. Now these are the examples of Ctenophora, Ctenoplana, and this is the example of Pleurobrachia. This is the Pleurobrachia. Now this is the diagrammatic picture, and this is the real picture which is found in the seawater. Okay, Pleurobrachia. Now fourth phylum is the phylum Platyhelminthes. They have dorsoventrally flattened body, hence are called as the flatworm. So you can see dorsoventrally means both dorsal and ventral at both sides are flattened, and hence they are called as the flatworms. Okay, flatworms. They are endoparasite found in animals including human beings. Okay, endoparasite means they are present inside the body of the other organism. That's why called as the endoparasite. For example, in human with the liver flukes which is found in the human being, and the worms, flatworms which are found inside the body of the organism. Now flatworms are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and ocelomate animals with organ level of organization. This term I have already explained you in the previous video, so please refer the previous video. Hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic form. So they have hooks and suckers So which helps in the parasitic form to absorb the nutrition and for locomotion. Some of them absorb nutrient from the host directly through their body surface. Through the suckers, they absorb the nutrition. Now, specialized cell called flame cell help in osmoregulation and excretion. They have flame cell on that which helps in the osmoregulation, that is the movement and the excretion of the food material or the waste. Sexes are not separate, so that means they are hermaphrodites. Fertilization is internal and development is through many larval stages. Some members like planaria possess high regeneration capacity. Now this is the planaria, flat body of the planaria. Now if this planaria get cuts, now you can see here this is the entire individual. Now it is cut from the center, but it has high regeneration power, that is again it will form its full body. The cells keeps on dividing and forms the entire full body. So they have high regeneration capacity, which is a characteristic of Platyhelminthes. Now example of Platyhelminthes is Taenia, that is the tapeworm, we call it with another name is tapeworm. Fasciola, liver fluke. This is fasciola, which are also called as the liver fluke, and this is the planaria. So these are the some examples of Platyhelminthes. Now next phylum is phylum Aschelminthes. So the body of the Aschelminthes is circular in cross section, hence the name roundworms. They are also called as the roundworms because if you take the cross section, you will find circular structure. They may be free living, aquatic and terrestrial, or parasitic in plants and animal. Like Ascaris is a roundworm which is parasitic in animals. It is found in the human bodies also. Now roundworms have organ system level of body organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic and pseudocoelomate animals. Alimentary canal is complete with a well-developed muscular pharynx. They have complete alimentary canal, digestive system. An excretory tube removes body waste from the body cavity through the excretory pores. They have excretory pores through which the body waste is removed out. Now sexes are separate, that is dioecious, that is male worm and the female worms are separate. Okay? Now the male and females are distinct, means separate. Often females are longer than the males. So females are longer than the males. Fertilization is internal and development may be direct. The young ones resemble the adult or indirect. In some it may be indirect or in some it is the direct. So young ones develop into a adult. Okay. Now these are some example of Aschelminthes such as Ascaris, Wucheria, and Encyclostomata, that is called as the hookworms. This is called as the filaria worm, Wucheria, filaria worm, and these are the Ascaris, commonly known as the roundworms. So today in this video we have studied different phylums such as phylum Porifera, phylum Coelenterata, the alternation of generation Coelenterata, then phylum Ctenophora, phylum Platyhelminthes, and phylum Aschelminthes. So I hope you have understood the characteristic of all this phylum. In next video we will study the remaining phylum. Thank you, students.